Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything. Little things are happening, not much worth putting on video. I will take a short video later, probably this week, to get some footage around the property. The weather's not so great today, so maybe tomorrow or the next day I can get out there and it'd be sunny and it'll look nice and I can get some footage of what has happened over the last couple of months. Today, I'm going to do a little project inside the kitchen and washroom, installing a new door header. We're putting a larger door in, so I need to raise the header. This is something that I've been working on for a little while, just getting it prepped and ready to take out the header. So let me show you what we've got going on here. So you can see here I've removed above the header. This was a rock and stone block, whatever it was. And then this is like solid concrete here. So what I'm going to do is remove that, and we need to move it up to right about 2 meters high. And I think I can leave those the archway type bricks there. I think I can leave those in. They're not really supporting a whole lot. There's wooden headers here that go from here, from the outer wall all the way across the top of this window. So I think that is strong enough to hold everything. I don't think this is super supportive here, but I'm gonna put back in a proper header and then fill in whatever little gap I have there. So I'm gonna start cutting this out. This concrete piece is like really strong concrete. So I have to cut that out and then make notches above. You can see here one's already started. I think I can notch those out, and then I have to build up from this little gap here, build up to underneath and give it some support. So first I have to get this big chunk of block out and also remove the door, and it's a sliding door, and then the header, I guess, for the door. It's like the sliding mechanism. I need to get all that out because it's actually kind of bolted, attached, glued. I'm not real sure how it's attached, but I have to get that out, take the light down, and kind of get it cleaned and ready to install the new one. As you can see here, I've removed some of the ceiling, and to keep the cold air out, I had to kind of just put some insulation up here. That's like 2-inch rigid insulation, and some batting just to kind of give it a somewhat of a seal. So I had to do that. And then these poles are actually supporting the roof beams, because there used to be a beam that went across into this little pocket and into this little pocket, and then support structures holding the roof up. So these poles are supporting a beam right at the wall and kind of supporting the roof. I'm not sure it's actually necessary. I think it's pretty sturdy, but I put it in there just in case. So I'm going to get started on that and see what happens. Okay, so I've got it relieved here. I don't think I need to do anything more there. I've got it fairly loose here. It's still supported a little bit, but you can see like it's mobile. I can shift it a little bit. You can see here the concrete reinforcements that are sticking out. I think there's a little more. I think that's some steel right there. Some sort of reinforcing material. So what I want to do is try to get this thing out as one chunk. I'm not sure if I can rotate it out. I may need to take a little bit more off here, maybe a little bit more off here just so it'll clear, because I think what I'm going to try to do is pull it back toward me. That'll break it loose here and hopefully get it out without trying to break it into multiple pieces, because I think that's going to be very difficult. So let's see what I can make it happen here. So it looked like the rotary hammer worked pretty good. After I got the big chisel out and started hitting it with a hammer, it worked, broke out. So you can see it kind of sticks out here a little bit, which is fine. It didn't need to be completely flush with the wall. I've got this ledge to build off of, so I need to stack up to this point here. That should be the bottom of the header. That gives me 2 meters and 3 centimeters, I think, up to that point, so that we can add some flooring and that kind of stuff and still have some room to wiggle the door up and the door frame up and down. This section over here is already ready. I probably need to build it up about the thickness of my finger there. That gets me up to that same level as here. So I guess I'm done for now. I'm definitely going to have to get a saw, or at least a blade for my cutter, so that I can cut some small bricks here to stack up. I think I may go ahead and try to chisel this little section out so that I can get a nice good brick size here. And I'll probably just stack up some old tile, or possibly just build it up with mortar and then bed it down and tap it down and get it nice and smooth and level. And I think we'll be done with that. It's this is the new header. This is one that you can purchase. It's already made. It's got steel rebar on the inside of it. It's pretty heavy duty. That is a total of 1 meter long. And my opening here is about 800 from this point to this wall is about 800. So I'll have about 10 centimeters hanging over here and about 10 centimeters, maybe a 15, I'm not real sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do to get the spacing right if I stand the bricks up like this way rather than flat, if I stand the brick up, put 2 bricks side by side, and then stack a brick on top, that gives me almost the exact height I need. So once I add a little mortar and all that stuff, it's actually going to make it just a little bit taller than what I need, which is just fine, because in the end, when I install the door, the casing will need some space to move up and down so I can get my proper door height. So taller is okay, shorter doesn't work. So once I stack those 2 bricks on top of each other here, or turn a brick tall and then lay a brick flat, it gets me just about to my line here. Once I have that space confirmed, I can add space here by mortar or some sort of spacer to give me the exact space, and then I'll just bed it in with mortar. So I'm going to get to cutting those bricks. Okay, it is now installed. Not quite level, probably about 10 millimeters higher on this side, just where I put just a little bit too much bedding in between the bricks. I didn't need that much, and so that kind of raised it up. And I was limited by a brick on this side, so I pushed this all the way up to the brick, and then just wedged in some smaller rocks to make sure it stayed secure. But this is good. I think it's sturdy enough. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think this beam is actually necessary because there's a beam above it, plus the archway is in place. But now what I need to do is fill in the gap, and I'll have to cut stuff to fit in there perfectly. But I have this, it's kind of a porous stone here, and this stuff's really easy to cut. It's structurally sound. I can shape it a lot easier with like a file and a grinder rather than trying to cut bricks. I still may use some brick pieces, small pieces, but I can shape this to fit up in there really good, and then we'll mud that up. But I'm gonna let that dry. I've got the wood stove going, so the heat should help dry it pretty quick. So maybe later today I can come down here and put another coat of mortar in the edges here, and in the gap there, maybe wedge some smaller rocks in there just to kind of fill the gaps, and then maybe even get a couple of pieces installed in the top. But this we've made some progress, and I think everything looks pretty good. This is the other side where I've already kind of mudded things in and filled all the gaps as much as I could. So, all right, well, on to the next project.